Yo, what is up, guys? I'm your boy Nick with Pick My Mate. Today we're gonna be talking about the best prospects outside of top 15 rankings in the UFC that can definitely make their way into the top 15 rankings, as long as they stay active this year, as long as they fight to their potential. And some of these names, you probably won't see some of the fighters that you were probably thinking of right now that can make their way into the top 15 rankings. But these are just probably just biased in some of these picks. But we're gonna start with the flyweights to the heavyweights. There's no women's MMA fighters in here. Maybe I'll make a separate video for those. If this video does well, so make sure you guys drop the like below and hit the sub button and leave a comment down below if you guys enjoyed these types of videos. So we're gonna start with the flyweights now. First fighter on the flyweight outside the top 50 rankings that has a legit chance of making it to the top 50 rankings soon enough is
declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Asur Zulfikar
Almabayev. He's gonna be taking on. He's already booked to fight. I can't remember who exactly he's fighting next, but I definitely see him beating his next opponent. He could look really good out there in UFC debut. He took on Ode Osborne, and we did pick him by second on submission there, and he got that done. Cashed that plus money submission prop for all of us, and made it look pretty easy. I mean, didn't really have to go through much adversity on the feed. I got the takedowns when he wanted. Took Ode Osborne down at will and just pretty much ragdolled him. I mean, Ode Osborne didn't really have much to offer back. And he's got a good enough striking game on the feet. Has pretty good power on the feet too, but his game is basically wrestling. He's out of Kyrgyzstan. I mean, and he's got the same type of chin. He's got the Iron Crimson chin out there. He's got really good durability, really good cardio. He can push up pace for like 50 minutes, and I would definitely like to see him in like a 25-minute fight at some point. And I definitely see him beating whoever they put him up against next. And I think he's fighting Cesar Vergara. So I remembered, yeah, he's booked to fight Cesar Vergara. I already put him in a parlay with one more fighter. I think it's Gamrot. I put him in a parlay with Gamrot already, way ahead. So his line's getting crazy right now. I think his line is sitting at minus 300. I definitely think he's gonna go a long way in that 125. There aren't that many fighters out there 125 that are gonna be able to beat him. Maybe in the top 15 there's a couple of fighters that can probably beat him, but I definitely see him making his way to top 15 soon enough, as long as he stays active. And yeah, he's really committed to the game. He's really that's all he does is train. And I definitely see him, if he fights 3 times this year, I definitely could see him make it into the top 15 rankings. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to 135 now, the bantamweight weight class, which is super stacked right now. Bantamweight's one of the best weight classes out there right now, I think. What a time to be a UFC fan right now with a weight class like bantamweight. Super exciting. Some of the most athletic fighters out there, 135 fighting at 135, and I got a pretty good fighter for us right now that I think is very close to making it to the top 15 rankings. He should have made it to the top 15 rankings already, but his last fight ended up being a no contest at UFC 295. I'm sure you guys already know who I'm talking about right now, but let's get into it, guys. So we're gonna, for 135, the guy that I think can make it to the rankings real soon, as long as he stays active in 2024.
He is still undefeated. Javid, the Snow Leopard Basharat.
Reed Basharat. I definitely think he's the better brother, more talented brother out of the Basharat brothers. Reed Basharat is really good. He's going to be fighting on the next UFC Vegas 84 card, but I just think Reed Basharat is way more well-rounded. Has better fight IQ, really good feints out there. He was absolutely brutalizing Victor Henry. Just kept him guessing until he landed that shot to the cub. So that's what ended up making that fight a no contest. But Basharat was absolutely winning that fight. That fight was not even close. And he was taking him down too. He was getting the takedowns. He got good enough grappling. He's training out of Extreme Couture with Eric Nixick over there. And I'm really high on these two brothers, man. I've bet on these two brothers every time they go out there and fight. And they stick to a game plan. And I think they're going to go far in that 135 weight class, even though it's super stacked. But these two brothers are they're very high level fight IQ fighters, and I think they're gonna get into the top 15 rankings. I could see, Javid Basharat is super close getting into the top 15. He only needs one more fight. If he goes out there, finishes his next fight, I could probably see them rebooking that Victor Henry fight with David Bastrad. I want to see that fight again. I mean, that's not a bad matchup. I think it's a matchup that David Bastrad should definitely win, and I think he will win that matchup. They rerun that matchup. But let's go over, guys. So that's my guy. That's my prospect for 24 that will make it into the rankings. Let's go to the next weight class now, guys. Now let's move on to 145, guys. There's not a lot of prospects that are coming up at 145. There's some good guys coming up at 145. I'll give some honorable mentions to guys like Diego Lopez and guys like Steve Garcia, and they're on their journey right now too. They can definitely probably make it to the top 15 soon. But the fighter that I'm picking to make it to the top 15 this year is none other than our boy
Anderson Tubarão Brito.
Aqui é o Brasil, caralho!
Anderson Brito, the one and only, man. Went out there, absolutely choked the life out of Jonathan Pierce, and your boy right here picked him to win too. So we're definitely on the right side there at plus money. When you see Anderson Brito at plus money, that's the guy you gotta definitely bet. And he beat up Diego Lopez too on the Dynamite Contender Series. So he's definitely a problem at 145 for these other guys to deal with. And you can only hold him down for too long. I mean, so long, because Jonathan Pierce was able to hold him down for like the first round, and then Brito like just got the top position over him, wrapped up that neck real quick, absolutely choked the life out of him, and made him tap super fast. So Jonathan Brito is definitely a problem, and I'm really hyped to see where he goes from here. I definitely see him in the top 15 in the next after he fights his next fight. I think he'll be in the top 15 after that. It shouldn't take him too long, because Jonathan Pierce was undefeated in the UFC. He was like 4 or 5-0 or something like that, and him submitting a guy like Jonathan Pierce, a good grappler, like high level grappler. I mean, Jonathan Pierce beat up Rodriguez, who fights at 135. So this dude was a problem, man. Jonathan Pierce was a problem, and Brito absolutely destroyed him with that guillotine choke. I was thinking it was a guillotine choke, right? Yeah, it was an Armin guillotine choke. That was a nasty guillotine choke right there. And I definitely see Jonathan Brito being a problem for even guys like in the top 15 to deal with. I think he's gonna be a problem for most of these guys to deal with in the UFC. All right, guys. The only guy that's beat him, I think, was I can't even remember. The guy that fought Anthony Hernandez last time. I can't even remember his name right now, but damn, my memory is fucking bad. But yeah, let's move on to the 155 next, guys. I think Anderson Brito definitely will be in the top 15 rankings this year. Guys, now we're going to move on to 155, guys. We have a really good fighter here at 155, just outside the rankings. His name is Elvis Brenner, guys. I had a hard time picking a fighter at 155. That was really good. There's a lot of really good prospects coming up at 155, especially right now in the year 2024. We're going to get even more people signed in 2024. But the fighter of the year for 2023 that can definitely make it to the rankings, that's fought legit competition out there, the best competition they can face out there, and keeps on winning as an underdog, is
Declared the winner by knockout, Elvis Brenner.
Elvis Brenner, man. This dude went out there, beat up Jubeira Tuhugov. I know a lot of people said that was a robbery or whatever, but I mean, he went out there and did it. Then he went out there, beat up what's his name, Gram Kutazalaje, as a plus 450 underdog. I mean, I was definitely not a believer of Elvis Brenner back then, but I definitely am after I seen him beat up Gram Kutazalaje. Then he went out there, beat up who did he beat up after that? He fought Kenan Kuczewski, and we definitely bet him against Kenan Kuczewski by first round knockout, and he got the job done there. So I couldn't be more happy for the guy, and he looked really good doing it too. I mean, knocked him out with the overhand right on the top of the head, and just laid him out clean, man. This dude's got some nasty power, and he's coming into his own right now, and I can't wait to see the what's in the future for him. I definitely see him in the top 15 soon. I think I don't see anyone giving him that many problems. He's got really good grappling too. He's really good takedown defense. He's a submission threat on the ground too. He was taking down Gram Kutazalaje to the ground and getting his back. He was hanging on his back. He had a full body locked in the first round against Gram. That's not an easy thing to do. I definitely see Elvis Brenner making it into the top 15 as long as he stays active this year. And they can give him anyone, man. I would pick him over anyone outside the top 15 at this point. but there's got to be guys like Mateusz Rebecki who can definitely beat him. But that's going to be a hard matchup for him. But yeah, I definitely think he's going to be the top 15 soon. Guys, so the welterweight division, we're going to go with my boy, none other than...
By unanimous decision and still undefeated, Michael Morales!
Michael Morales. I think he's going to be in the top 15 rankings real soon. The UFC is really getting behind him now. They know what potential he has. He's undefeated in the UFC right now. I think he's undefeated overall. His record is 16-0. He's got 2 finishes in the UFC by knockout and 2 wins by decision. And he's looked really good doing it too, man. He's taken on... They gave him Jake Matthews, a UFC veteran who's been in the UFC for over a decade at this point. And that was by no means an easy matchup for him. And he looked really good out there. And he's supposed to take on Rinat Fakhdinov too, but Rinat Fakhdinov, I guess Morales had an injury in that fight. That's why that fight didn't happen. That would have been a good fight, to be honest. People were picking Morales there, and I honestly would have picked Morales too if that fight did happen. And he knocked out Adam Figueiredo, knocked out Trevin Giles in the first round. Trevin Giles is a good UFC veteran at this point. I mean, Trevin Giles went to cracked Duplessis a couple of times. So Michael Morales is definitely a problem for these guys to deal with at this weight class. And I can't see what's next for the guy. And I think he's gonna be a tough out for some of these fighters at 170. I mean, and I definitely see him making it to the top 15 rankings this year. I think he's gonna get to the top 15 rankings this year. This would be the next, and I think if he goes out there, finishes his next fight, I definitely think the UFC will put him in the rankings and put him in a main event maybe in the next, because he's still a young guy. Only, how old is he? I'll check how old he is. He's only like, what, 24 years old? I mean, super young guy, man. Imagine the improvements he's going to make by the time he's like 29 years old, 30 years old. Yeah, this guy's really good, man. We picked him as a lock of the week last time. Lock of the week, round 3 or decision was plus 155, so we cast a ticket on him. And it was not even sweaty, to be honest, because he just made it look easy. Outstruck Jake Matthews all 3 rounds, and the fight was not even close by any means. I would have liked to see a finish from him, but I'm glad he just got the decision. I mean, that's what we called decision for Michael Morales. And I think the decision was like plus 200 for Michael Morales. So I'm happy that he came through for us. And he's definitely one of my good prospects outside the rankings right now. Let's go to the middleweight next. Hey guys, so at middleweight, my prospect that's going to be in the top 15 rankings real soon. He's going to be fighting on that, I think, UFC 299 or UFC 298 card against none other than our boy Fluffy Hernandez. So our boy...
The winner by TKO, Ikram
Aliskerov is my prospect to watch at 185. Of course, you guys already probably know that. It's pretty obvious. But he's the guy that's going to be giving a lot of people problems, even in the top 15. I think he's going to be an absolute menace. I could see him maybe challenging Hamza Chimaev again. I could see him getting that rematch against Hamza Chimaev, because I do think he's going to be very active in 2024 this year. And I do think they can end up doing that rematch again, because there's a good storyline there. That's the only guy that's been able to beat him in the past. He beat him back in Brave CF. I think Hamza Chimaev knocked him out with an uppercut in the first round or second round, and that's the only loss that he has on his record. Other than that, he's pretty much ran through everyone else, and I think he's gonna be a problem for these top 15 guys to deal with at 185. So that's my prospect. That's gonna be the rankings real soon. I think he's in the top 20 already, so he should be in the top 14 or top 13 real soon after he beats up Fluffy Hernandez, because I do think he's gonna beat Fluffy Hernandez. Fluffy Hernandez is good, got really good cardio, really good submission game, really good grappling, but his takedowns are not that good. And I do think Ikram Aliskerov can hurt him on the feet. Holland knocked Fluffy Hernandez out with a brutal knee knockout in the first 20 seconds. So if Holland can knock you out, I think Ikram Aliskerov can do the same. So I think the Ikram Aliskerov is going to be a good prospect to watch at 185. Guys, so my prospect to watch at light heavyweight is none other than our boy.
Declaring the winner by knockout,
Vitor Petrino, man, an absolute juiced up Brazilian dude. But all the Brazilian juice out there, Paulo Costa is probably still looking for more juice, and Vitor Petrino's out here fucking just taken everything from everything that Paulo Costa's worked for his whole life. And yeah, Patino's absolute menace, man. He's knocked out everyone. I mean, knocked out Adolfo Bellato twice, once on Bantamweight Contender Series, once in LFA, and he's come to the UFC. He's finishing people left and right, and it's like he's a submission threat on the ground, and he's got a ton of power on the feet. And I definitely see him breaking into that one top 15. I mean, real soon. I think he can definitely be a title challenger someday. He's definitely like got all the skills out there, and he's got a chin on him too. He can definitely take some big shots that he needs to, and I think he's gonna go for it at 205. 205 isn't all that stacked, to be honest, and I do see him having a lot of success at 205. He can take guys down with the physicality that he's got at 205, and I definitely think he's going to be beating a lot of guys at 205. So that's my prospect to watch at 205. I think he should be able to break into top 15 this year. So we're going to move on to heavyweight now, the last fighter on this for this video. I had a pretty tough time picking one heavyweight because the most well-rounded fighter that's been signed this year, last year, I mean 2023, I think is
declaring the winner by TKO, Shamil Gaziev.
Shamil Gaziev, who fought on the UFC 296 card, and he looked really good out there, man. His cardio was on point, his pace and everything was on point. I mean, his volume was there. He kept that pace for 2 rounds until he finally finished him. I mean, absolutely put it on Boudet, and your boy right here picked him to win too. We picked him by finish only. We picked him by money line, which was plus 155 early on. Went down to all the way down to like even money before the fight. I think almost even money or plus 100. So if you guys are part of the channel, I mean, you've been seeing I've been high on Gaziev for a long time. We picked him on Bantamweight Contender Series. We also picked him on his debut. Looked really great out there. Cashed that plus money ticket for us, and couldn't be more happier with his performance. And he's got good enough grappling, good enough wrestling. He's out of training with the Habib's team. And Habib's dad was the one that he used to be a volleyball player, and Habib's dad was the one that told him to start training MMA, and since then he's been training only MMA since then, and he's been looking better and better every time. So happy that he's not out in the UFC, and I think it's going to be a problem for some of these guys to deal with. I mean, if a experienced guy like Boudet couldn't deal with him, only landed 5 significant strikes against Gaziev. I mean, Gaziev is an absolute menace, man. I think Gaziev's going to be a problem at 265 for these guys because he's super well rounded, has a pretty good chin on him. His cardio is on point now too, and there's no holes in his game anymore. So guys, that's the video right there. Hope you guys enjoyed all the male fighters that can break into the top 15 rankings in 2024. Let me know who you guys are favorite fighters in every weight class is, or your favorite weight classes are in the comments down below. I would love to hear back from you guys. And this is the first time I'm editing a video. Like I just learned how to edit off a YouTube video. So forgive me if the videos, like the edits, are not that on point. But maybe I'll learn. I should be getting better and better editing videos from now on. But I'm trying to add some clips here and there. Maybe hopefully YouTube doesn't take the video off. I'm trying to keep it down to like 10 seconds. I think that you can keep the clips down to 10 seconds. So it's already 20 minutes long, this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate all the support as always, guys. I love making content, and I appreciate you guys as always. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch me on one of those live streams later. See you guys next time. Later.